Number 7 USC at number 4 UConn. What's at stake in JuJu Watkins-Paige Bueckers' showdown? Southern Cal head coach Lindsay Gottlieb collected her team in the locker room. Though the Trojans fell one win short of their first Final Four since 1986, Gottlieb's message to the group that elevated USC onto the national scene again was positive. Such an explosion was not an easy feat, she told them last April. The way the country is going to see USC women's basketball is really different than it was 4 months ago, Gottlieb said following an 80-73 loss to Connecticut in the Portland 3 region final. That's a powerful thing for the group here. USC 10-1 and UConn 10-1, led by National Player of the Year contenders JuJu Watkins-Paige Bueckers, respectively, will meet again Saturday, Fox, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, in an Elite Eight rematch under less acute circumstances. While there is no championship on the line, at least not yet, it will contribute significantly to NCAA tournament seeding. And for USC, it will serve as a barometer of how much further its program has come since climbing back onto the scene that UConn has long dominated. The number 7 Trojans, unlike this time a year ago, are national championship contenders fueled by sophomore generational star Watkins and a pack of transfers she compared to Marvel's Avengers. They rank 4th in net rating, propelled by a third-best defensive effort, 67.1. Few teams are better at protecting the rim or sharing the ball. Their sole loss is to defensive menace Notre Dame, a devastating blow on their home floor they can chalk up to a lack of early chemistry. As USC treaded water on the West Coast the past 3 decades, UConn swam marathons around everyone. The country has viewed the Huskies as perennial title contenders who should do nothing except lift the final trophy in April. A 14-year Final Four streak and 11 national championships will do that to a program. Except they haven't won since 2016, and in Storrs, Connecticut, that is an eternity and a day. Propelled by the senior Bueckers, the number 4 Huskies are once again among the title favorites should their pack of top recruits remain healthy. That's been a tough feat in a continuation of the team's health issues the last 5 seasons. Shooting guard Azzi Fudd missed 2 games, including their lone loss to Notre Dame, with a sprained knee. She's day-to-day, heading into the USC matchup. They're the best shooting team in Division I, 51.6% overall, 60.6% inside the arc, and second in points per play, 1.03, but defensively they've fallen slightly behind. Albeit, the Huskies have faced slightly tougher opponents than USC, taking wins against ranked squads North Carolina, Ole Miss, and Louisville, and previously ranked Iowa State. The matchup features 4 of the 5 number 1 recruits still in college. Forward Sarah Strong, UConn 24, Watkins, USC 23, Fudd, UConn 21, and Bueckers, UConn 20. Center Lauren Betts, Stanford 22, is at number 1 UCLA. Final Four preview? It's the second collegiate meeting between preseason AP All-America guards Bueckers and Watkins. It could be the last, unless they meet again in the NCAA tournament. UConn is 3rd and USC is 7th in net ranking, the primary metric for the NCAA Tournament Women's Basketball Selection Committee. UConn is a number 2 seed in the Region 4 Spokane bracket with Texas, and USC a number 3 seed in Region 1 Spokane with UCLA, according to ESPN's bracketology projections released on Tuesday. They would meet in the Final Four. Bueckers has said it's her final year at Connecticut before becoming the projected number 1 overall pick in the WNBA draft. Watkins, whom talent evaluators have said is WNBA ready, is not age-eligible until 2027. The two finished with comparable stat lines in the Elite Eight game, though Bueckers was more efficient with her 28 points, 11 of 23, 3 of 6 threes. Watkins scored a game-high 29, 9 of 25, 2 of 6 threes. UConn's Aaliyah Edwards and USC's Mackenzie Forbes, each of whom scored 24 in that meeting, were drafted into the WNBA Player of the Year race. The matchup will also serve as an early benchmark in the National Player of the Year conversation. Notre Dame's sophomore Hannah Hidalgo, by virtue of her two-way performances in games against Bueckers and Watkins, has an early edge. By Sunday, all three will have played each other to set the non-conference foundation for decision-makers. Bueckers became the first freshman to win Major National Player of the Year recognition, sweeping the Wooden, Naismith, AP, and USBWA honors in 2021. She's averaging 20.6 points this season on career-high efficiency, 65.9 EFG%. The rest of her per-game statistics are down slightly with more elite help around her than she's had since that award-winning Final Four appearance. Watkins, who set the record for points as a freshman, is averaging a third-best 24.7 points on 51.5% effective field goal percentage. Her production has also dipped slightly with an elevated roster that's led USC to its best AP ranking since 1986 and by far its most relevance in the last 4 decades. UConn's FUD 10 ppg, 50 FG% in 19.2 miles per gallon per 5 games, and USC transfers Kiki Iriafin, 18.7 ppg, 9.2 rpg, and Talia von Oelhoffen, 3.5 apg, 2.1 spg, are also on the Wooden Award Top 50 preseason watch list. Strong, UConn's second leading scorer and three-point threat, will likely make her debut on the mid-season list in January. JuJu, Paige, and more. Breaking down key matchups in USC-UConn clash. JuJu Watkins and USC will make the cross-country trip to Hartford for a top 10 showdown against Paige Bueckers and UConn. The highly anticipated primetime tilt is part of a 2-game series between the schools and features a pair of leading Wooden Award candidates. The Trojans and Huskies met in last season's Elite Eight, with the latter prevailing 80-73 to reach their 23rd Final Four. Watkins and Bueckers remain at the center of their respective schools' national championship hopes. Saturday's blockbuster affair will serve as a litmus test for the pair of 10-1 squads. Here are the key matchups to follow when UConn and USC take the floor. Watkins is one of the NCAA's most lethal scorers, averaging 24.7 points through her first 11 appearances this season. The 6'2" guard already has a 40-point showing under her belt and set a new USC record in that same contest with 9 makes from downtown. Only Caitlin Clark has produced more 30-point outings than Watkins through a sophomore year. Watkins' shot selection was an area of emphasis during the offseason, and it's shown on the court. The Big Ten preseason player of the year is shooting 5.3% better from the field on 4.6 fewer field goals per game. She's also been a more efficient 3-point shooter on virtually the same volume of shots.